All right, ladies and gentlemen, uh, this segment that I'm going to be doing today, it's supposed to be, I think, May the 8th or ninth. I lost track, but this is going to be how COVID affected Main Street. And as you can see, this it's a cool little sign here right in front. Okay, this "Welcome to Las Vegas" sign. Out that's the beginning of the street is right off St. Louis and Las Vegas that we had just went past. So they've done some improvements on this street over the last couple of years. We just passed some brand new Denny's that they built. It's an IHOP, like right down the street from it on Las Vegas. And here's like a cannabis dispensary off to the right. There used to be Burger King, but they pretty much had remodeled that uh, old Burger King, and they converted it into that dispensary. So we're just going to kind of ride up this street and see what's on here on the street. I think, well, a long time ago from my college studies, this was the old 91 and the old 466. So where it met on Las Vegas, that used to be kind of like the old, like interstate back in the day, and it got too crowded. Okay, but so they decided to go on and build the 91 bypass, which is now the I-15. That was like in the middle '60s. I've done a dissertation on that, okay, for my bachelor studies, and I ended up getting an A in the class in my independent study class. But here's some establishments, okay. There used to probably be other establishments, all right, back in the old days from people that had affiliation with casino bosses and so forth, okay. Some of them had their own businesses right over here in this area, downtown. Okay, that's Commerce. And actually, this used to be like a two-way street, but they converted Main and Commerce into one-way per. So Main goes north, Commerce goes south. Okay, so it's not much like it used to be. It's more like an antique area where people can go and reminisce. But here's a few establishments. They renovated this whole place. When I got here 12 years ago, everything was closed. But this is a brewing company. Okay, off to the right, it's another establishment. They do cars. Okay, they had a couple of car dealerships here. Okay, like one to the left. Okay, one to the right. And here's some restaurant equipment spots on the left. Let's see here to the right, and some antique shops here. Okay, and they did a little skit of The Hangover right over here in this area too. I believe it was right here in this area between California and Colorado. Okay, they had a sign here that said the skit was done right there. All right, but I think they took it down. So here's just some basic businesses, antique shops. Okay, here's a drive-through liquor spot here. Excuse me. There's a spot called the Rebar. Okay, they're doing some renovations on this and kind of making it kind of like old school retro. So here's a nice little restaurant here called Don Juan's. Okay, and a lot of people, they go to this restaurant. It's packed. Okay, especially Friday and Saturday night. Okay, here's a antique valley. So there's not, a lot, but it does bring back memories. Okay, and they have gradually converted this into what they call the antique district. So we're approaching Charleston right now. They still have a lot of work that they have to do on Main Street between Charleston and Fremont. So we're going to check out another area. We're going to check out this part of Antique district right over here on Arc Street, which is basically like Casino Center. Okay. Okay, so this is Charleston Avenue, and I'm basically traveling in between Main and like 3rd Street, because if you go any further, probably past Las Vegas, it's really no longer the antique district. Okay, so here's a few spots. I'm going to take you guys over here on Art Street. Okay, and they just did this probably about 7, 8 years ago. Okay, because these buildings were run down. Again, all these buildings occupied back in the day, and this area represented the old Vegas. Okay, but that changed over the years, especially, since things got bad about 10, 12 years ago. There used to be a nice little spot over here I used to go to called the Ice House, and actually that was an Ice House actually a long time ago. And they had converted it into a club, and I think now it's like an office building. So here's some of these establishments, and they call this Art Street, but I believe this is First Street back in the day. And maybe I'll get a chance to come down here when they have First Fridays, because actually this is where they started they say about 15 years ago, and then they moved it to Fremont Street. So I think they start here early in this area, and then it goes to Fremont Street about 8 or 9 o'clock, and they're out there till like 1 o'clock. And they can allow you to drink and all that stuff, okay, and take your liquor with you as long as you're on that section of Fremont Street they want you to be on. Okay, so we're just kind of traveling down First Street here. Again, there's not a whole lot to see. I think they have just gotten creative and tried to either make these buildings into antique shops, or maybe like a little small apartment buildings and complexes, just so they can figure out a way to monetize it. Okay, so I've seen a lot of improvement. Actually, you can see that they improved the road. Okay, that they have refinished the road, and it looks really nice. Okay, so we're coming up on the Ice House right now. Okay, I used to hang out down there back in the day, like I think it was Saturday nights and all that, and they had an upstairs part to it. Okay, that's Garces. Yeah, Garces Drive. Okay. So there's really not much to see here. All right, if you go a little further, a quarter mile further, you'll be at the plaza. All right. And it's something that I guess they'll improve, and they'll make more improvements over time. So if you like this video, feel free to subscribe and share it with your friends. This might be the last video I'm going to do as far as the COVID-19 effects. I may do one more after this, but don't be surprised if this is not the last video, because we're going to start opening things up tomorrow. Actually, some things have already opened up this phase 1. All right, and they're going to do phase 2 probably in about another week and a half, and then phase 3 will probably be open by 1st of June. They open up everything, so things will open up gradually in waves. Okay, and just so you know, this is Commerce Street though, so this is how they split these streets in half. You see, one way, one street goes one way, and the other street goes another way. All right, that's all for right now, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time.